What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another one. If you're new to the channel, I'm Gold Pony. I do new car, truck, SUV reviews on YouTube, and today we are in the brand new 2025 Toyota Tundra 1794 edition, courtesy of Younger Toyota in Hagerstown, Maryland. For more information on their inventory, please feel free to check out the link in the description box below. So today we're in the new 1794 edition, specifically 2025 Tundra, because I think this one's kind of cool. It commemorates the founding of the Texas ranch located in San Antonio, where they currently produce the Tundra. So I thought that was kind of cool. Also, you get tons of Western styling with this one, and you get 2 years of 25,000 miles of complimentary maintenance as well. So ultimately in this video, we will be testing out and going over everything about this one, from acceleration to braking, steering feel, ride quality, sound system, exhaust clip, all that fun stuff. So having said all of that, what do you guys say? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, let's start with pricing. And so there will be a few different configurations specifically for the 1794 edition. You got the 4x2 5.5 foot bed for $64,360, 4x4 5.5 foot bed for $67,360, and lastly the 4x4 6.5 foot bed for $67,690. But regardless of the configuration that you go with, the power plant is going to be the same. Powering this beast is a 3.4 liter twin turbo V6, putting out 389 horsepower at 5,200 RPM, 479 pound-feet of torque, coming in at 2,400 RPM. That power being sent to the rear wheels or all wheels through the four-wheel drive system, of course. Power sent to the ground through a 10-speed automatic, 0 to 60 time coming in at approximately 5.7 seconds. That's insanely impressive for a full-size pickup like this thing. So we'll be testing that out, of course, in a little bit here. But MPG numbers coming in at 18 in the city, 23 on the highway for the rear-wheel drive, 17 city, 22 then on the highway for the four-wheel drive, taking regular unleaded fuel. And so before we do any kind of fun acceleration test here in the Tundra, did want to mention to you guys the drive modes. There's a circular dial located directly behind the shifter. Those drive modes will include Eco, Sport, Normal, Custom, Tow and Haul mode as well. So plenty of different adjustments there, adjusting things essentially like the shift points and the throttle response. So anyways, now that we got all of that out of the way, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and find a straightaway. Let's put that acceleration here to the test, and let's see how quickly we can get our new 2025 Toyota Tundra here up to speed. All right, got her straight away in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my gosh, spinning. Oh man, yeah, that's plenty of an acceleration. Very surprising, because like I said, this is the beast of a truck, man, and this thing gets up and goes, son. That's all I'm saying. That's really good. But anyways, to go along with that acceleration, as always, braking is equally important. So up front, you will find 13.9-inch ventilated front discs. In the back, 13.6-inch ventilated rear discs. As far as that 60-0 stopping distance goes, that comes in at 143 feet, which is not the best on paper, but it's kind of expected at the same time for a full-size pickup. As far as braking feel goes, it's on the softer side of things, so it definitely feels like that 143, and I didn't expect anything other than that, really. So it's what it is. It's a full-size pickup. It feels like that when it comes to the braking. I'll just put it that way. Then touching on suspension and handling, up front you're going to get independent double wishbone type front suspension. In the back, coil spring multi-link rear suspension, but there's so many different suspension options for the Tundra 1794, believe it or not. There's an off-road suspension with Bilstein shocks that goes for right around $2,100, and that gives you skid plates, mud guards, and a bunch of other stuff too. But then there's a TRD 3-inch suspension lift kit, which is kind of cool. That goes for right around $4,000 if you wanted that. There's a load leveling rear height control air suspension that goes for $1,045, and that comes with an adaptive variable suspension as well. So that's probably going to give you your best ride quality on the road, at least I can tell you guys that, because essentially what that does is it monitors each shock absorber individually, not only adjusting to the road imperfections, giving you a smoother ride, but it's also actually going to tighten up the suspension during heavy cornering, giving you better handling as well. So that's the one I always like personally. I'm not a big off-roader, but that's the one I would go with if you do a lot of kind of on-road driving, I guess you could say. But overall, as far as ride quality goes, in my short little test drive here today, these are pretty ridiculously smooth roads, but having said that, it's actually been perfectly fine. I haven't had any issues there. As far as steering feel goes, I like it, and the reason being because it is weighted a little bit on the heavier side of things, as you typically do get in trucks. So I definitely am a big fan of the steering here. As far as cabin noise goes, this is the perfect test. We're going 56 miles per hour. I'm getting a little bit of wind noise, but honestly, it's nothing that would bother me. So all in all, no issues there either. Then touching on rear visibility, if you've ever driven a truck before, you pretty much know what that looks like. I can see perfectly fine out on my rear view mirror there. Did want to also mention though, rain sensing windshield wipers do come standard on the 1794 edition. So whenever this thing detects any kind of mist or rainfall, it's going to automatically turn on the windshield wipers for you. It's just like automatic headlights, just one less thing you got to worry about there. And I did want to also mention, also on forward visibility, is there is a head-up display available that goes for $600, and that would display your speed limit, and safety features up onto your windshield. We actually do have that today. I couldn't see it with my sunglasses because they're polarized, but taking them up a little bit here, I could see there is a speed limit, speed I'm currently going. There's a little compass on the left-hand side, so it gives you safety information there as well. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, that pretty much rounds out the performance segment of this review, guys. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the exterior of our brand new 2025 Toyota Tundra 1794 edition. All right, so here she is, you guys, the new 2025 Toyota Tundra 1794 edition, finished in midnight black metallic, in case you were curious of our exterior color name. But as always, let's go ahead and start with where this one is made. Taking a look at the VIN, first character is the number 5, indicating that the Tundra is built and assembled here in the US. I bet you couldn't guess where. It is San Antonio, Texas, like I said at the beginning of the video. But let's go ahead and start up front on this one. Front grille is shared with the platinum trim level, in case you were curious. You get brushed aluminum finish, active grille shutters as well, so they're going to open and close dependent upon the engine cooling that is needed at any given time. You also have that chrome Tundra lettering found at the bottom portion there. I'll see if I can get up a little bit closer to show you guys that. That looks pretty darn good. Got LED fog lights integrated into the design as well. That definitely looks nice. LED headlights with LED daytime running lights to the sides. You get the automatic feature. You also get automatic high beams. So if you have your high beams on at night and it senses a vehicle coming in the opposite direction, it's going to automatically dim them back to low beams. And when that vehicle is gone, it's going to automatically bounce it back up to high beams for you there. Also to the sides though, right underneath the headlights, you do have front air curtains as well. So anyways, I think it looks pretty darn intense up front. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, but that pretty much rounds out the front end. Let's now go ahead and swing around to the side. All right, so now since we are around to the side of the Tundra, starting kind of in the front there, you got a gloss black A-pillar, although you probably can't tell because we have the black exterior. But anyways, if you got a different color, it's still gonna be gloss black. Chrome beltline molding does come standard. You got rear privacy glass in the back, of course. Got some trim level badging found on the front doors there as well with the Texas star. I think that looks pretty cool. Taking a look at the side mirrors, they are power adjustable side mirrors with chrome mirror caps. They are going to be heated. They are auto dimming as well. You get integrated turn signals, and you get the reverse gear tilt down feature as well, so you don't run anything over. That's always nice. Then taking a look at the wheel setup, they are going to come standard 20-inch machine finished alloy wheels, and they look plenty fine. And the other thing I wanted to mention is you get power deployable running boards, which is pretty stinking cool because that definitely made getting in this one a lot easier than otherwise if you didn't have them, you know? So I was a big fan of that. But that pretty much rounds out the side profile. Let's now go ahead and swing around to the back. All right, so now since we are around to the back of the Tundra, this is probably the first thing I noticed when it comes to changes for the 2025 Tundra, for the 1794 edition specifically. The 1794 now gets its own kind of unique embossed tailgate. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is the 1794 kind of etched into the rear tailgate there. It did not used to be that way. It used to say Tundra in the back on the liftgate there, so that is pretty darn cool. So I thought that was a nice touch. LED taillights do come standard, of course. You get the 4 and 7 pin connectors for towing. And speaking of, max towing capacity comes in at 11,050 pounds. That's for the 4x4 Crew Max with the 5.5 foot bed, in case you're curious about that. Get a tailgate assist step. You guys can see that in the bottom corner as well. That's pretty cool. And of course, just beside that, a single exhaust outlet with the chrome tip. I love that look. So having said that, I do believe you guys know what we have to do next here. As always, here is that exhaust clip. And so, but now since we are around to the back of the Tundra, when it comes to opening that rear tailgate, there are several different ways to go ahead and do that. But before I do that, I wanted to mention it is a power tailgate, believe it or not. So that was pretty stinking cool. There's a rubberized button on the tailgate itself. There's a button on the key fob as well. And then of course you have the Tundra famous tailgate release bump switch in the driver's side taillight in the back as well. So you could just press that and it'll automatically fold back up for you as well. So that is pretty stinking cool. I love the way that that is set up. Anyways, since that's opened up, you either get, again, a 5.5 or 6.5 foot bed. Max payload capacity comes in at 1,665 pounds. Got a deck rail system back there, 4 adjustable tie down cleats, aluminum reinforced composite bed, by the way, in case you were curious about that. You have integrated LED bed lighting that doesn't always come standard, so that's pretty stinking cool. And 120 volt power outlet in the back corner as well, which is definitely going to be convenient. But anyways, let's now go ahead and make our way up to the rear legroom because it keeps getting better. So by the way, Crew Max is the only setup for the 1794 edition because you know there's double cab and the other options as well. So Crew Max is the only way you can get the 1794, but that gives you 41.6 inches of rear legroom. That is luxury like rear legroom right there. For reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had in the back there. You get 60/40 flip up bench seats back there as well. Rear under seat storage. You got rear ventilation, rear USB charging ports, another 120 volt power outlet back there, rear center armrest with cup holders. You get rear window sunshades. That's something you typically find in large SUVs. I love that as well. And heated and ventilated rear seats coming standard on the 1794. That's crazy. To be a rear passenger in the back here on the 1794 edition Tundra, it's definitely where it's at. So definitely everything you could possibly want back there. And of course you have that rear window that can open and close as well. I just opened it up with the button found on a ceiling next to the overhead sunglass holder here. So I love it. This truck has got everything, man. But now let's go ahead and make our way up to the front seats. 10-way power adjustable front seats with 4-way power lumbar, power thigh extensions as well. It's so nuts. Leather finish coming standard. Memory settings. You get heated and ventilated front seats, of course, since the rear passengers get them too. Overall, as far as seat comfort goes, it was brilliant. I was actually surprised how comfortable these seats were when I first sat in them. So 100% on point yet again. So let's go ahead and take a look at the steering wheel now. It is tilt and telescoping. It is power adjustable, believe it or not. So that was plenty convenient there. It is leather wrapped. 10-2 grips are on the thicker side of things. I loved that as well. And yet again, it is a heated steering wheel, so that's definitely going to come in handy on super cold days. So big fan of that. Now let's go ahead and make our way to the startup. Let me start by showing you guys the key. You got your Toyota logo on the bottom. You got lock, unlock, that button to pop the tailgate in the back there, but it is on keyless entry with a push button start. So all I'm going to do here is simply put my foot on the brake and press that engine start button located kind of by the driver's right knee there. And so once started up, when it comes to the gauge cluster, it is a 12.3 inch digital gauge cluster and it looks pretty darn good. So let me go ahead and change the drive mode, see if it adjusts anything there. And so it actually does. It did change the look of the gauges. It kind of gives more bold tachometer when I put it in that sport driving mode with the digital speedometer front and center. Normal and eco are going to change that look as well. So I like that there's some customization there because that isn't always the case. So I'm a big fan of that. You got outside temperature up there. There's a digital speedometer, of course, the time of the day, trip A, trip B, your average miles per gallon. It looks like Eco Pro actually gives you some blue hues. So I don't know, that's pretty cool. You can pretty much put whatever you want up there, so I like that. But let's go ahead and take a look at the overall interior quality now. Panoramic roof does come standard, and yes, that goes all the way into the back. That is pretty cool. LED interior lighting as well. You get American walnut wood grain interior trim, and I love it with the 1794 edition etched into it just on the dash there. Looks absolutely amazing. Auto dimming rear view mirror with home link controls to up to 3 different garage doors. You get a wireless phone charger just in front of the shifter there. Dual zone climate control so both driver and passenger can set their own temperatures there. Just behind all of that, you have your couple cup holders. The walnut trim, of course, covers up the cup holders. That's pretty cool as well. And just behind that, you have a ton of space within the center armrest. Got a couple USB charging ports, a bunch of spots you can put coins in there. So many different compartments compartments. There's so much going on just within the center armrest here, which is nuts. You got that wood trim found on the doors as well. You got the two-tone color theme going on here, which looks absolutely amazing. The saddle brown color, I love that look for this truck. So overall, I'm not sure you can get much better than this. I love the thick grab handles too. That's pretty cool. But let's now go ahead and make our way to the infotainment screen, because this screen is massive. It's this 14-inch color touchscreen display. You get Bluetooth and audio streaming up there, wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. You can check out your driving statistics up there along with your radio information. And so the standard sound system for the 1794 edition is a 12-speaker JBL sound system, which sounds like it's gonna sound pretty darn good. So let's go ahead and turn on the radio. Let's see what we got playing this morning, and let's test out the clarity of this one. Yeah, it's pretty darn good. Like, the bass was incredible on that song there. So plenty of clarity. I had a JBL subwoofer in my first car, I'll have you know, and it was pretty darn cool. So yeah, that sound system is plenty good for this thing. So last thing I wanted to mention to you guys on that infotainment screen at least is when you do put the Tundra in reverse, you will find a rear view camera, and believe it or not, it takes up the entire screen, which you almost never see. You also got that surround view monitor there to the right, giving you that bird's eye view, letting you know what is completely all around you, which as always is going to lead us into safety. And so let me first start by saying this one is an IIHS top safety pick, which actually is quite impressive for a truck, I'll say that. Front side curtain airbags do come standard. You get driver and passenger knee airbags up front as well. In the back, you're going to have latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats, rear child door locks, tire pressure monitoring system, but also coming standard Toyota Safety Sense 2.5. That gives you a pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, dynamic radar cruise control, lane departure alert with steering assist, lane tracing assist, road sign assist, a blind spot monitoring system with rear cross traffic alert, front and rear parking sensors. I love that. So it's quite a bit. But overall, when it comes to my final thoughts here of the Tundra, this is a very safe truck. Let me just start by saying that, since I just got through with the safety. An IIHS top safety pick. This might be the safest truck, because typically you don't get that designation with pickup trucks, but also excellent tech. I love the digital gauges. I love this massive 14-inch screen. Definitely makes everything a lot easier. Excellent interior quality. I love the authentic wood trim in this thing and the 1794 edition. I love the saddle brown and kind of the dark interior that we have, the color combo that we have today. So overall, big fan of that. Also plenty of power, twin turbo V6. That engine's been around for quite a while too with Lexus, so plenty of power in this thing. As far as room for improvement goes, I'll give you two things here. I think ambient lighting would look cool. Maybe it's just me. I always say I like ambient lighting, but anyways, there's that. And quite honestly, if I got the choice, I'm still preferring the V8 over the twin turbo V6. Not that this one doesn't have a lot of power, because it does. The power isn't the issue. It's the long-term reliability in the back of my head with a twin turbo V6 versus a naturally aspirated V8. You know, the V8's gonna last longer. It's just less components, and that's just how it works. But anyways, let me know what you guys think of the Tundra in the comments section below. That's about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow me on social media somewhere on the screen. If you wanted to see what's coming next on the channel before it gets to YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notification button. If you're into new car reviews, that is what I've been doing here on YouTube for 11 years now. I'll have you know, I'm getting old. I do appreciate you guys watching more than you know. I will see you guys all in the next video. Stay gold.